Hi, I'm Richie Zellon, and in this lesson I'm going to teach you how to play what I like to call George Benson's Octaves on Steroids. And for those of you not too familiar with George Benson's beginnings, I want to add that he was a protege of Wes Montgomery. And I can only imagine that after mastering Wes's signature octave technique, Benson must have felt the need to find his own original voice on the guitar. And thus, he took the octave technique to the next level. And he did this simply by inserting a chord tone in between the lower and higher octave. Something like this. This is the octave, and for example, this is the third of the chord. In this case, we have 2/5 of G. And today we're going to learn how to play shush. Today I said shush, Cat Stevens. Today we're going to learn how to play octaves with thirds. You too, Miles. Shush. I'm sorry, I apologize. Shut up, you two. I apologize. Today we're going to learn how to play octaves with thirds. And in a future lesson, we're going to learn how to play octaves with different chord tones. Please take a brief moment now or after the conclusion of this video to download a PDF with standard notation as well as tablature of this lesson. You can do so by visiting jazzguitar.richiezellon.com. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to show you how to actually apply this technique, how to build these octaves with thirds. And after teaching you a few scales, I'm going to show you how I use them to improvise over a well-known standard. Okay, the first scale I want to teach you is in the key of G, and it's a G mixolydian. Now, when we play these octaves, for those of you who are already familiar with the Wes Montgomery style of octaves, these octaves are usually, if we're starting with the high octave on the second string, the lower octave is always going to be on the fifth string. So we're skipping 2 strings between octaves, okay? Now, that in turn allows us to insert a chord tone in the middle. So if we're in the key of G, we're playing 2 Ds here, which happen to be the perfect fifth of G. So we're going to insert the third, which is a B. We have that sound. So if we build the entire mixolydian in G, first playing it in octaves, starting with the fifth, insert the third here, and of course when we go to the next one, it's going to be the fourth. So you got to know a little bit of theory, you got to know your scales, and I'm assuming that if you're venturing into learning these scales, you already know that. Still, even if you don't know that much theory, you can follow along with the notation and tab that I'm providing for you. Okay, that's the first scale I want you to learn. Now we're going to learn a dorian, a G dorian scale. And to start out, first let me play it just in pure octaves, starting also with the fifth of the G, which is D. Now let's insert the third here. Now it's the fourth in the middle, the fifth in the middle, the sixth in the middle, the flatted seventh in the middle, the root in the middle, the two in the middle, and again the third, minor third in the middle. Okay, that's a G dorian, harmonized with octaves and thirds. Now I'm going to teach you a symmetrical diminished scale. I'm going to do this one in D, and then I'm going to show you a piece that you can use to improvise using these different octaves and thirds. Okay, here we're going to use the whole step, half step mode of the symmetrical diminished. And in D, again, we're starting with its fifth. Okay, so we insert the third. That's an F sharp on the second string in D. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take that shape and move it in whole, half increments, like this. So that's a D, symmetrical diminished, and we can use this over a dominant chord also, a dominant seventh with the sharp 9. And we can now use this over the classic Miles Davis composition, All Blues. And let me show you how I use these scales. I'm going to use the first scale, the mixolydian in G over the first chord. Then I'm going to use the dorian over the second chord. You'll see the chords flashing on the screen as I play them. And then over the 5 chord, I'm going to use the symmetrical diminished. And then I'm going to take that half step up. And I'm back with the first chord, the G mixolydian. Here it goes.